Testing. Is this thing on? Hey, everybody, I'm your host for the evening, Moose, and it has already been a journey this evening. We're 18 minutes late because Facebook told me I'm blocked from going live, but it turns out I'm not blocked. It's just something going wrong with Facebook. So, the usual. Before we get started, please remember the views and opinions expressed on this broadcast are not necessarily the views and opinions of the SCV, its GEC, nor any division, brigade, camps, or any other subsidiaries. Oh, we have a frozen moose now. Oh, joy. What is going on now? Let me look over here at my monitor. This has been an evening. In the year of producing this show, this has never happened to me. We've had internet outages that just make us not be able to go live. We've been locked out of Facebook and had to re-log in. But never have I ever seen Facebook tell me I'm blocked from going live and me panicking, going through my email for a minute and trying to figure out what's going on. Someone asked who was in the control room. That's me, and I was able to fix it. Still don't know what happened, but we're just going to keep on trucking through. So other than the late start and not being able to go live for 20 minutes almost, how's everybody doing this evening? I see Mr. Sean is in the chat. I believe we got some news from you, Mr. Sean, if I'm not mistaken. We have a great guest on, and bless his heart, he had to fight through the perils of Look Around the Confederation just not wanting to go live. So let's give a nice prayer for him for staying on and not leaving the show when I would have. But there it is. All right. So how's everybody else doing? Victor's here. Victor. Yes, Jesse. It's because it's not just the Facebooks against the Confederacy or SCV. They're against anything that is truth, right, morally right, anything that's against their opinion, anything that's not, just pure evil. So, we have managed to con Facebook. I had to sign in under my Facebook to reconnect. And for those that don't know, I'm a cautious person. So I had to go through all the security checks I have put onto my Facebook account, and that took forever. And then I almost went live from another organization that I help with. So that was going to be interesting. But, now that we are here, now that we have everything going, we have everybody seeming to get into the chat. We got 21 people now. Let's see here. We got James. We got our historian-in-chief, Todd Owens. The man that gave me the moose costume that I'm going to be forced to wear against my will. So I thank you for that again, Todd. Let's see here. All right, let's go ahead and get into news with all that behind us now. What an interesting afternoon. All right. First bit of news is coming out of Florida this evening. Let's see here. Let me pull it up. Nothing's working now because, of course, it's not. The SCV was represented in the Swamp Buggy Parade. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. It has been an evening. But the SCV was represented in the Swamp Buggy Parade. The two camps were Major William M. Footman Camp, 1950, and Lieutenant Francis Calvin Morgan Brogus Camp, 2150. And, of course, they are out of Florida. The parade was 3 miles long, and they got a lot of good support. So that's always happy to hear that the community knows for a fact that we're not the bad people they say they hear in the news. We're not the bad people that they're lied to by Democrats or any other people. And, they started at Coastland Center Mall and ended up in downtown Naples, Florida. What an interesting parade. I wish I would have been able to be there to see it. This lovely picture, of course, was provided by Florida's Division 15th Brigade Commander, Mr. Sean McFall. Mr. Sean is a great supporter of the show. I have loved having him on in the past, and he always sends some good stuff into us. Let's see here. Florida Vision. Victor showing some of that Florida pride. We love you, Victor. But, My heart, it belongs to one division already, sadly. And that's what leads us to our next bit of news in the Mississippi Division. The Mississippi Division will be hosting another CERT workshop, this time in Jackson, Mississippi on Saturday, November 13th. Let me pull up that information. Everything is not loading. This has just been a wonderful evening. The CERT program has really taken off in Mississippi, and Mississippi Division Monument Chair and 5th Brigade Councilman Forrest Dawes wants to keep it going. If you haven't already received training in the no-harm method of cleaning and are able to attend, please consider going. Remember, this program has no cost for attending. For any more information about the event or to register the event, please email Monument Chairman Forrest Dawes at forrestsdawes@gmail.com. And it's going across the bottom of the screen. Let me remove this, and you can kind of see the program. Take a quick screenshot, or however you do. Let's see here. And yeah, so it'll be on November 13th. I was blessed enough to receive my CERT training very recently. My camp put on the event because, well, our camp commander is my father, Forrest Dawes, and he is the monument chair. So we had a little sneak peek there ourselves, and we were able to go around and clean some lovely cemeteries in our hometown. And we all got CERT certified that day. It was a very important day. I enjoyed myself greatly. And of course, a CERT program is a must to learn, people. It is a great way to clean our monuments, to clean our tombstones, and make them look brand new, really. And so, they are great. Okay, Todd, I'll send you the information. If you want to, though, you can email my father at forrestsdawes@gmail.com. I'll send you what I can. I'll send you what I got in for the show. But I've already kind of announced that. But I will send everything. I got this lovely flyer too, and my dad is great at making these flyers. I mean, look at that! Doesn't that look professional? But yes, if you're interested in the no harm method of cleaning, please reach out to my father at forrestsdawes@gmail.com. Remember, November 13th in Jackson, Mississippi. The address is on the sheet. If you need more information, please reach out to me on my Facebook page, Harrison, Mississippi Division, Historian, SCV, something like that. And I will give it to you. Or, of course, reach out to the Facebook page of SCV Chat. You can message us, and we'll send you any information we have. Last bit of news. Let me get the banner off. Let's see here. We had a Mr. Alan Walker send us a progress picture on a grave marker he's making. I always love the Southern Crosses of Honor. Always beautiful to me. My father and I bought one for one of our ancestors a bit ago. Put it out on his graveside, and I mean, it's a magnificent moment. These men served with honor, and they serve every recognition we can give them in any way to prove to them that, or prove to the world that these are the great men that we say they are, and they deserve to be honored and respected like all veterans should. And that is something I will fight for till the end of my days. Let's see here. Any other things? All right. Victor again with that Florida pride. Victor, if I wasn't washing my cup to use for this evening, me and my friends are going to a bonfire. They all know I'm an SCV member, and I wanted to show it off to them. I would have it here, and I would toast you for your Florida pride there. I always love seeing people take pride in their Army, brigade, and of course, the SCV as a whole. And it always brings a smile to my face to see people so happy about it, because, I mean, I'm so happy about that. As I told Victor, I have brought my SCV cup to class. I have brought it, to my friend's house. If we're just having a bonfire, it's cold. College students like doing stupid things like roasting marshmallows and stuff at a fire when we should be studying or writing a paper. And, all my friends know I'm in the SCV. I'm not ashamed about it whatsoever. Matter of fact, I'll be tailgating this weekend at Ole Miss, and I will have not this Mississippi flag, but one that was gifted to me when I first became a student up here. You want someone to teach that class in North Carolina? I don't know who's in charge of the program now, but reach out to the Tennessee division. It originated from there. Dad added the CERT program to his monument protection idea. That is also in Alabama, I believe, and maybe even Florida, if I'm not mistaken. But if you want someone to come to your state to do the CERT training program, because it is something we all need to learn, people. It is a lot better than what we've done in the past, and of course, it protects the monument for years to come. And so, see here, Casey asked, let me post the SCV website in the chat. All right, let me make sure I got the right website. Victor, well, I was talking about the fact, Victor, that Tennessee, Mr. Tom Meadows is the founder of CERT and the guy who kind of started really pushing that idea. And so I was talking about, if you want to reach out to the people over CERT, there's people over the program, I believe, and they're in Tennessee. And I know that they recently got someone to do that. And so I was just saying, reach out to the Tennessee division if you have some interested people, and that would be awesome. Matter of fact, we might even try to have that on the show. We all love the CERT program here on SCV Chat and Look Around the Confederation. So maybe that will be a future episode and a way to get in touch with them and bring them to your town, bring them to your division, have a division project. But, like Florida's done and like Mississippi is doing, it's a lot easier to get your division on board. That way they have training programs across the state. Like the Mississippi division's having one at Beauvoir. Now we're about to have one in Jackson. We're trying to hit something in the North Mississippi, Middle Mississippi, and Lower Mississippi. That way all of our members have the time and the ability to join. And if they can't join, try to have a representative of their camp there. Because once you learn the CERT program, the great thing about it is you can go back home and teach it to all your camp members and pass on all the great knowledge that you've learned. But with that, I do not believe we have any other news. It's time for our very special guest to come on. I will hit us with a quick commercial break as I make sure that everything is running smoothly, because Facebook has not let me build any trust in it today. And we'll go right in for our special guest for the evening. He's a treat. He's an awesome guy. I cannot wait for him to talk to y'all, and I'll let him take away the show from there. So with that, I'm going to hit a quick commercial break.
There is a place nestled in the rolling farmland of southern Middle Tennessee. A home constructed in 1837, nearly lost to the ravages of war. Saved by a servant and a Confederate general. A place where families loved and lost. If walls could talk, what stories could be told? If a place, a home, can feel love, loss, pain, surely this is one of those places. Nearby is a more recent structure, and inside are the stories of heroes and heroines, stories of battles won and lost, stories of sacrifices made by the people of its native soil. A place that will tell the true and complete story of the Southland and the war fought for its freedom. From the causes that led to the conflict to the modern-day struggles to protect Southern history. Historic Elm Springs and the Confederate Museum at Elm Springs are the general headquarters for the Sons of Confederate Veterans. A place where the story of the Southland and its historic struggle is preserved and told. Come and discover your history.
All right, everybody, we're back, and we have a very special guest on, Mr. Charles. Mr. Charles is running for ATM Councilman in the year 2022, and his let's see here, Facebook page where you can get all of his information and all his update is going across in the chat now. So there's
There
his,
you go.
and I'm about to pin it. So whenever you guys come by, you can get it, and it will also be available after the show. It will be posted on our Facebook page, so please go give him a like and a follow, and make sure you stay up to date with all the great work this man's doing. And without further ado, I'll let him take it from here.
Hey, I appreciate it very much. Good to see y'all tonight. Said sitting through the little hiccup there wasn't too bad. It kind of took the edge off, but it's good to be here with you tonight and see everybody. A lot enjoying all the interaction as well. So it's really good to be here tonight, and I appreciate the opportunity to talk with the SCV chat crowd and basically, if you hadn't already heard, I've announced my candidacy for the Army of Trans-Mississippi Councilman in 2022 in Georgia. And so basically, just to kind of let you know a little bit about myself, if you can see my flag, the flag behind me there, that's our Louisiana independent flag, the flag of independent Louisiana. Basically had a little nickname called the clown flag, the clown suit on a stick. Is what one of the funny names it received, basically because of all the colors. But just a quick little history lesson about those who aren't familiar with it, because always, try to give an opportunity to teach those who are outside of Louisiana. But, Louisiana, it was under basically the English, the Spanish, and the United States. And the French, mostly the French. But just to let you know, this flag represents the gold star represents Spain. The 13 stars and stripes obviously represent the United States, and the red, white, and blue represent the French. So that was actually the flag that Louisiana adopted as an independent, sovereign country right before it joined the Confederacy. So that's kind of why I got my Louisiana independence flag flying behind me tonight. So just a little history lesson there for you. But, I retired in June from 27 years in public service as a law enforcement officer. And, but for the last 21 years since I've joined the SCV, I've been pretty active, especially on the national level over the last 10 years. And some of you might recognize me, but some of you might not, especially since I've grown a beard. That's kind of like I've basically been in occupations my whole life that I wasn't able to grow a beard. So as soon as the day I retired, I started growing one. So, but some of you might recognize me during the administration of Commander-in-Chief Tom Strain and also Paul Gramling. I served as the Chief of Staff. So I was up on the stage and up at the podium making announcements and things like that. So if you remember Chief of Staff Charles Lauret from 2016 to 2020, that was me. But like I said, without the beard, I didn't have a beard when I was doing that. But that was one of the highlights of my career. Basically, my time as the Sons of Confederate Veterans. But it's not the only thing I've done. This isn't the first time I've run as Army of Trans-Mississippi Councilman. I actually ran in the early about 2010. I ran for Army of Trans-Mississippi Councilman, and I served in that position. And then subsequently, I ran as the Army of Trans-Mississippi Commander. So this isn't, I'm not new to the General Executive Council, nor am I new to the position of councilman. But since my retirement, I've received a lot of, I've had a lot of people approach me, asking me to consider getting back on the General Executive Council. Said Commander-in-Chief McClooney gave me a break, and so in last year, from starting it in Florida, I basically kind of took a break from being on the national level. But I feel like I've got a lot to contribute on the national level, and especially now that I've retired, I see an opportunity to get back involved on the national level. And so, like I said, I've had people approach, asked me to consider running for ATM Councilman, both in the Army of Trans-Mississippi and also on the outside. And so I feel like I can bring a lot to bring a lot of my past experience being on the GEC for several years. I'm especially, it's especially neat to kind of have this opportunity to do this, because back when I first started running, obviously this wasn't anything that we had open to us, and having an opportunity to reach several compatriots, both nationally and internationally, those that might be watching from overseas, our compatriots in camps in foreign nations. So this is a great opportunity to kind of present my candidacy and let everybody know that I really would like to get back involved in on the national level. I said I've joined the SCV in 2000. Basically, being somebody not familiar with the SCV at all, I chartered a brand new camp, the Brigadier General J.J. Alfred A. Mouton Camp in the city of Opelousas, Louisiana. Served as lieutenant commander, and the adjutant and chaplain, and I currently serve as the adjutant and chaplain of the camp. Served as Southwest Brigade commander. I've served as Louisiana Division commander over these many years. And except from division commander, it was when I stepped up onto the national stage and ran as ATM commander. So 21 years of experience with the Sons of Confederate Veterans. But honestly, the time that I spent on the General Executive Council, and especially as Chief of Staff, gave me a great opportunity to learn about and be experienced in the inner workings of the Sons of Confederate Veterans on the national and international level. So I'm just excited to kind of getting back in. I know when we had our reunion last summer, kind of sitting down and with the rest of the compatriots watching everything going on up on the stage, I kind of felt lost. It's like, man, said it was really an honor having served as ATM Councilman, ATM Commander, and Chief of Staff for 4 years. And, really made me realize how much I miss it when I'm kind of basically on the outside looking in. So, I'm excited the prospect of being able to serve the ATM as councilman. I know the General Executive Council changes a lot with each new election, and certainly that may very well be the case when we go to Georgia next year. But those that are serving right now, and there may very well be several of them that stay on the council, I've built some great working relationships with them. Very few of the current councilmen are folks that are serving on the GEC right now, I don't know that I have not worked with. So I'm excited at the prospect of getting back and serving with them again, and basically, making sure our organization continues to move forward. These are some very difficult times we're dealing with. I've been through them, and I want to be there to continue to fight to serve our organization and make sure that people understand we're legitimate. There's no doubt, we're as legitimate as the Sons of the American Revolution. And even they are being kind of, because of the nature of everything going on, they're even being slighted. But we're legitimate, and we've got some very important men to represent. And I want to be on the council to help make sure our organization continues to move forward and represent them the best way that we can. Some of the things I'm looking at, anything that I will do as a councilman, if I'm elected, will be positive based. We want to make sure that we're, we come up with some positive solutions to deal with some of the things that we're dealing with here the attacks on our heritage, the attacks on our history, and especially the attacks on basically American history in general. The digital landscape, the SCV chat, Facebook, things like that. I've been very active on Facebook. Matter of fact, I appreciate y'all. You scroll in my candidacy page, and please make sure you go and visit. Give me a like and check in from time to time. I'll keep it updated. But I've been active on Facebook because I see it as a very positive thing, basically, and especially with family and friends. But then eventually, we realize how important it was and is to share information about our organization, about the things that we're doing. So that's one of the things I'd love to see and continue to support, things that come up that will move our organization forward on the digital landscape. The fundraising for the development of the Confederate Museum. Definitely a supporter of the Confederate Museum. I was on the council. All of my votes were in support on what was best for the Confederate Museum, getting it started, getting it built. And man, is it very impressive? If you haven't been, you definitely need to go. I'm really proud of what's been accomplished since it's been built and getting things on the inside. So that's exciting to see. And I'm very proud to have been a part from the ground up to see that the museum got built. So I'd like to continue to support our Confederate Museum and encourage any fundraising opportunities that we have to do that. And finally, boy, what can you say about Adam Southern and the staff at the historic house at Elm Springs? Since all those things were moved out of the house over to the museum, we here in Louisiana, we know about historic homes and homes that you can take advantage of for when I went to Elm Springs for the Forrest funeral, which by gosh was an awesome event, and I was so glad to have been a part of it. To see the historic Elm Springs starting to get back to its historic self, its historic setting. So I'd like to continue to see that we develop and make excellent use of the historic home there. And basically talking about the ATM, as I served on as a councilman and commander, I made some great friends across the ATM, Texas, the Pacific Northwest, California. And I'd like to get the opportunity again to serve all of the divisions in the ATM, get out and visit those divisions and camps that I wasn't able to, serve them, serve the ATM commander in any capacity that I can to make sure that the ATM continues to grow. We've always had a great growth, winning awards for the most camps in the Sons of Confederate Veterans. As a matter of fact, when I was ATM commander, I was recipient of the award, and that wasn't me. That was the divisions and the camps in the ATM. But again, I look forward to getting out and meeting new members, because, like I said, yeah, it has been since 2016 that I've served specifically for the ATM. But I want to bring back that experience and my representation for our Army. So that's basically what I'm looking at doing, and I appreciate anybody's support. Go on to my campaign Facebook page. Be glad to receive any support. And if you have any questions, I've got Messenger via the Facebook page, and love to hear from you. So with that said, that's basically what I've got to share with y'all tonight. And I appreciate talking into the camera. I hadn't been able to see any of the comments and people asking anything. So if anybody's got anything, I'd love to answer or share in any way I can.
Yeah, and while we're waiting on these questions, there was a question a bit back. I wanted to wait till after he was done because I think he would answer your question, Samuel. But he asked if there was any specific items on your agenda or platform. And I would guess, I mean, other than what you just, of course, already talked about, if you have any other questions about his platform, you can go over to his Facebook page. And I went through your Facebook page before this episode, and I read everything. And so, you know, I think he kind of covers it well over there. And, of course, if you want to answer the question or go over anything specifically, you can. But, yeah, Samuel asked that question, and I think he already answered it. But, you know, if you want to go into more detail, you can.
Yeah, I appreciate that. No, like I said, basically, if you go to my Facebook page, I've got my campaign announcement. But those items, the positive-based solutions, right now, I'm the only one who's announced as the ATM for the position ATM Councilman. I definitely want to be positive about my campaign, and any of the issues that face us, they definitely need to be positive based. We've got some very important men, ancestors, from the generals, from the president of the Confederacy down to the lowliest private who served. Our detractors have a really nasty way about them when they're attacking our history and our heritage. And as members of the Sons of Confederate Veterans, we need to make sure that we represent the Southern gentleman and do it in a positive way. So that's very important to me.
Yeah, Samuel said you did answer his question. I had pulled up your official announcement. I was trying my best to copy it over. For some reason, it's not letting me. I agree, Samuel. It sounds like he has a good handle on the situation. He is a man of experience, and he is a hard worker. You just retired, you said, and you were in law enforcement, if I'm not correct. Yes. And, there's not many other people I would I'm sorry, I just went by. It's not a lot of people that I would like to see in a position like him. And, I know that he will succeed, and I know he's done a lot of great things for our organization. And, again, I had his thing pulled up from Facebook, his announcement. It lines out his platform, and I was trying my best to copy it, but it cut it off. I don't know why. It's told me it copied everything, but that's just my computer today. It has not been helping the episode if you've been here for a little while. And
I appreciate you doing that. Like I said, basically my upbringing with my family. I served as in the United States Marine Corps for 4 years, and I retired after 27 years in law enforcement. And like I said, in 21 or 20 of those 27 years, I was a member of the Sons of Confederate Veterans, and served faithfully, doing on the camp level all the way to the national level, doing whatever I could to advance our organization and defend the memory of our Confederate ancestors. Now kind of unshackled from the job, and it's just I see myself being able to do so much more than I was able to do, on the last several years that I served on the GEC. So, and I appreciate the opportunity to be able to do that.
Yeah, and I think I speak for all of us. We're really rooting for you, and we can really can't wait to see what you do. And personally, I like everything you're running on. Again, this is opinions said on this broadcast are not necessarily the views and opinions of the SCV, any division, brigade, camps, or any other subsidiaries. But me personally, as Harrison Dawes, I will say that, positive solution based to our challenges we face. We cannot fight negatively, I believe. That's just going to lead us down the rabbit hole. Develop plans to continue making a larger footprint in the digital landscape. Of course, I'm a big favor of that. I feel like that's how you're going to reach my generation and improve on our social media presence and our digital landscape. Improve on fundraising, of course, develop a long-term plan for the Confederate Museum and the property of Elm Springs. It's something I'm really loving. I love all the events they're doing now, and I really love to see them try to do as much as they can and, make them properties, the great shining example of our love for our Confederate ancestors we all want our HQ to be. And so, I'm definitely looking forward to it. And, if I was in your army, I'm in the Army of Tennessee. If I was in your army, you would have my vote, but and my support.
Well, I appreciate that, Moose.
Thank you.
Just talk to your buddies in the ATM.
I'll see you. I'll see. I'll talk to the mascot of the Army of Tennessee and see what he thinks. I don't know will I get in trouble for that comment? I don't know if he's even on tonight. He'll hear about it soon, probably though. Cousin Vinny says you have my spiritual vote. He's in the ANV. Hey
Vincent, how are you, buddy? Good to see you on there. Glad to see everything you do. You definitely are a great member and love to see you active on Facebook and sharing what you're doing out there for our cause.
Cousin Vinny is everywhere. He does so much in New Jersey. So yeah. I always give him credit for doing all what he does in Yankeeville. But
I wanted to mention, talking about the CERT program and cleaning headstones and everything. I know if you go to my Facebook page, you'll see that I had cleaned, that I shared a picture of the cleaned headstone of my third great grandfather who I joined the SCV under. But that's an excellent program, and I'd really like to see more about the program. I'm not. I've heard of it, but I'm not too much familiar with it. But I'm glad to see all the comments that people were sharing, asking about it. But definitely that's very important. That getting out there and taking care of those headstones and cleaning them. So that's something I did. I'm a practicing Catholic, and All Saints Day and All Souls Day, which just passed, is very important to us. And that's usually the time of year when we go and clean and take care of the graves of our ancestors. And I specifically made a point to clean the headstone of my Confederate ancestor who's buried in an old cemetery right behind my house. Anything to do it properly and making sure that the headstones are not harmed by cleaning them and doing them the right way. That's really important. So I appreciate that program that y'all have, and we'd like to see more of that.
Yeah, and two quick things. Well, three quick things. I'm going to throw some things on the screen real quick. AOT Commander, Army of Tennessee Commander Jimmy Hill is asking that they need a tech guy for the new museum committee. If anyone is interested, please call him or email him. If I lived in Tennessee, I'd definitely do it. But golly, college is a lot more complicated than people told me. They told me I was just going to be partying up here. I was going to have time of my life. No, I got a 20-page paper due next week. That's what I'm doing with my life. Golly. But, yeah, please, we need a tech person, someone who understands technology, I'm not moving to New Jersey, Cousin Vinny. No. Brother, I love you to death, but I'm not going. I can't. If I step out of Mississippi for too long, I catch on fire. I just blow up. It's not good for anybody. Dad's had to watch me blow up a couple times when we stayed on a trip too long. It's just not good for anybody. Only 25. I thought you would get 50 pages. Vinny, I'm in history, dude. Please don't tempt my professors. They're already talking about like race, and she's like, well, today, oh yeah, when you text me today, when we were going over the show and everything, my teacher was toying with the idea of upping our final paper. So our paper next week is 25 pages, and she's like, well, I just don't feel like that's long enough for a final. And like everybody in the class was like, it's long enough. So yeah, pray for me on that. We got a nice comment here. It says, Charles is the reason I am an SCV member and the Louisiana Division Commander.
And my buddy George.
That's awesome to see.
Fellow camp member and my division commander, and always with me on a lot of the things that we do. So I appreciate that, George. Thank you, brother.
That was one comment I was definitely wanting to get to. I love seeing comments like that. I love seeing us as a brotherhood. The SCV is a brotherhood. You make family here, and I would say there's only very few people that I'm closer to, and the majority of them are SCV members. And of course, my SCV camp back in Wayne County, they're my family. When I was younger, when I was a cadet, I remember calling them my SCV family. And so when my dad would take me out to these camp meetings and stuff when I was, 10, I think is when I joined. And I mean, ever since then, I fell in love with it. So yeah, it's always good to see that. You never know who you can, reach and recruit and help for the cause and show them, this is the right way. This is how you do things. That's always good to see. Good to see you in the chat, Commander George. Thank you for your comment. Everybody's trying to give me advice on how to write the paper. Thank you, everybody. Someone said triple space 15 font. It has to be Times New Roman and 12 font, and it is double space, so that it did answer my prayers. Uh-huh. But my eyes are bad, so it's hard to see 12 font. So I have to do it in 14, and I'll type it out, then I'll change it back to 12 and see where I'm at, and I have to flip it back to 14. It's a very interesting thing. But with that, I don't think does anybody else have any questions for Mr. Charles? And again, in about 30 minutes at 8:30, and I'll go ahead and probably publish it after this if I can figure out how to do it. Facebook keeps changing everything on me. I'm supposed to be the tech guy on the chat, and halftime I don't understand what Facebook is doing. They keep updating stuff. They blocked me today apparently, and Charles's Facebook page will be up on here on the chat's Facebook page after the show. Go give a like. Go support him. If you have any questions for him, you would like to rather talk to him privately about it. If you're in the Army of Trans-Mississippi and you need to talk to him as someone who's going to represent you or hopefully represent you, or you want to show support because you want him to represent you, all these things that go on in these lovely elections we have, please reach out to him. Give him a good talk to, give him a good like, and show him your support, people. He's been posting on that Facebook page, and he's very active there, and he was nice enough to share this video out. So let's all give him the loving support the SCV chat can give and will give. Thank you, Granny Gramlin. She's telling us that we did a great job tonight. And I will try to get an episode out on the CERT program again soon. We have a great episode for you next week. I don't know if Victor's still in the chat. Victor's our guest next week. And we will be talking about, veterans and their service. As you do know, Veterans Day is coming up, people. Yeah. And we here at SCV Chat, of course, take that very seriously as sons of Confederate veterans and as modern-day veterans. Matt, Candyman, he's a veteran. My father's a veteran. So and a lot of my family members serve. So I know for a fact that it was brought up to me to respect all veterans and thank them for the service, all law enforcement. So this day is very special to me. We got a great episode for you planned Monday. If you did not catch the show, please remember this show will be automatically rewatchable live on YouTube in about 30-ish minutes. We'll see what I can do. And again, please remember to send all your, let's see here. My thing's not working. I swear, nothing is working tonight. Send your pictures, short videos, and write-ups to scvyouthoutreach@gmail.com to be featured on an upcoming episode of Look Around the Confederation. And if you have a camp or division project and you would like to talk about it live, again, please email us at scvyouthoutreach@gmail.com. And we will see you Monday at 7 p.m. Confederate Standard Time. And until then, no fumar in the elevator and stay Southern, my friends.
Thank you, SCV chat. Appreciate you. ATM, vote